I just came back from America and brought back this pile of fabric. Want to see what I got? Hello and welcome back to my channel. You can call me Kate and this is Ripper Seams. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's watched my videos over the last few weeks. An even bigger thank you to those who have gone ahead and subscribed or left me comments. It's been fantastic reading and hearing about your stories. I'm really enjoying it. And finally, a massive thank you to What Beck Sews and Sequin Girly Creates for giving me shout outs on their Instagram. What a wonderful surprise and a prime example of why I love this sewing community so much. Everyone's supporting each other. Everyone's got something nice to say or giving suggestions and giving feedback to each other. It's all been really positive and I really appreciate that. So to everybody, massive hearts from me, and I'm looking forward to creating more content for you. So last week saw me traveling to the United States of America, in particular Seattle, which is in Washington State in the top northwest of the country. Now, after a grueling week of meetings and functions, it was a really exhausting week with work, but I managed to sneak in a little bit of extra time at the end to do a little bit of personal sightseeing whilst I was there. So this time I took a different spin on sightseeing and decided to check out what fabric stores Seattle had to offer. Seattle is located in an area called the Pacific Northwest in the state of Washington, up near the border of Canada. On one side you have the stunning Cascade Mountains, which is dominated by Mount Rainier, which is a huge stratovolcano. And on the other side is Puget Sound, which is a busy harbour and considered the gateway to Alaska. Down by the waterfront, there's a great aquarium. So if you like otters, this is definitely the place for you. I mean, like, just look at that guy. But there's also the famous public markets at the end of Pike Place there. This is a market heaving with fresh produce, which is locally grown, also wonderful seafood. Beautiful flowers are everywhere. And because it's tulip season, they were just dominating the markets. There's loads of handicrafts to find and heaps of curiosities. A really great way to spend your time here in Seattle. Down by the markets, there's something called the Gum Wall, which is a tourist attraction for some reason. I don't know, it's gross. I don't get it either. Everywhere you go in Seattle, the skyline is dominated by the Space Needle, which is a really great place to go and have a drink at the end of the day and watch the sunset. Nearby is the Museum of Popular Culture, as well as the stunning Chihuly Glass Museum and Gardens. I do recommend a visit there. It's absolutely mind-blowing. If you fancy a trip out of the city, you can head up to Mount Rainier. Really great to go up there when there's the snow up there. I went up there when there was too much snow, but there's beautiful waterfalls to be seen, really lovely countryside. Seattle is a fantastic city, and if you have the opportunity to go, then you absolutely should. Okay, so in the rest of this video, I'm going to take you through the 3 different places I ended up going fabric shopping whilst here in Seattle. The first place was called Our Fabric Stash, which is located on the 3rd floor of Pike Place Markets, down by the waterfront. The second was a bit more out of town in a place called Bellevue, and obviously that was the big Joann's box store that I went to, which was amazing. And the third place was called Stitches, which is up in the Capitol Hill area of downtown Seattle. Each was a very different experience. I obviously enjoyed the really small independent retailers, always do, but sometimes it's fun just to get fully immersed in some of the big options that you get at a Joann's. Picked up something for each of them, so let's see what I got. Down on the 3rd floor of the public markets, you'll find Our Fabric Stash. Now this is a fun little store full of interesting finds. A lot of their fabrics are vintage, and apparently they welcome people to send them their fabric to destash on their behalf, which is a really good idea. And because of this, there is a good mix of ginghams, linens, jerseys and lace. It's also a good place to go rummaging for beads, buttons and yarns. They also have a selection of vintage patterns and books available, which was fun to look through. And there's lots of quilting fabrics. So if you are a quilter, you are set. They have a good selection of fat quarters and half yards to choose from. It's a really lovely store with friendly staff and definitely worth a look around. Nothing in particular was calling me to take it home apart from 2 lovely fat quarters, which I've got here. I love how they kind of sold them in the strips like this, a little bit different than having the squares. But this is a lovely beige with a purple stripe running through it and pretty little purple flowers, which I can imagine making a little dress for a little critter in future. So that's why I got that one. And this one I just love interesting fabrics, and I thought a little bit of this I could definitely have in my stash. I just think it's a bit of an optical illusion. Not entirely sure what I use for this. Yeah, I just want to get something whilst I was in there because it was such a lovely store, and this is what came home with me. So my next stop was the big one, Joann Fabric and Craft. Now, before I go any further, I just want to call out that Joann's actually filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy just at the back end of March, so I really wasn't sure what I was going to find inside. Us UK sewists, we hear about Joann's all the time, and we have no real equivalent to it here, so I was really excited that I actually got the chance to visit one. So once I was inside, I grabbed a trolley and started making my way through the aisles. So we went through all the crafty section first, all the baking. As you can see, the aisles are quite bare. I don't know if that's normal, but then we made it into the haberdashery. Just look at that ribbon, and then boom, we are into the fabric. First up was some double gauze and other fashion fabrics. Funnily enough, not very much rayon or viscose to be seen. Here are the occasion fabrics, lots of really sparkly ones. These are my favorites. This was so pretty. Oh, and this one was gorgeous. Wanted to take this home, but unfortunately I didn't. I had to leave it behind. Now, lots of flannel checks here. These ones were 25% off. But I also had a coupon for 25% off anything else that wasn't on sale in the store, which was an absolute bonus, so I saved heaps. Then we had the fun party and Halloween fabrics, perfect for making up costumes. I like this Harlequin stuff. Then we had the skulls with the lace. I think that was, yeah, brilliant. And then quite unusual fabric that had like leaves or feathers or something. Imagine if you wanted to be a crow, that would be good. Oh, then we had the bats. Oh yeah, bats were cool. The kids' fabrics were cool. There was such a big range of different bases and coordinating colors that you could really make some really fun outfits for little ones if that's what you're into making. Overall, there was just so much there. It was really overwhelming that you had to really go in there with a plan. Otherwise, you'd just be wandering around like a crazy person, kind of like what I did. Oh, look, there I am, crazy person. I did actually have a plan. I really wanted to focus on getting some jersey and some polo fleece, and I was definitely not left disappointed in that one. Huge range of flannelette prints there. They were only $4.99 a meter. And oh my gosh, look at this. This is all polo fleece or cuddle fleece. Really lovely prints. There were some like serious plain ones, but you also had all these crazy patterns. So if you were after fleece, this was your element. I mean, like, look at these egg ones. This was so cute. Left it behind though, so I got something else. Now here's their quilting section. They had heaps of licensed fabric, so if you were into anything, you were in for a treat. I mean, like, here are my favorite ones here. So we had Golden Girls fabric. Look at that. That's just crazy. And then you've got Leslie Nope from Parks and Recreation. Like, Leslie is my spirit animal person. And we also had Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson here with his breakfast foods. I'm sure he'd be very, very happy about that. Really unusual. They had some Breakfast Club fabric. Wasn't expecting to see that in here. And also some Freddie Mercury fabric. Good to see Freddie on there. Now, this was pretty cool. This was pre-shirred fabric. They called it smock fabric, but you could buy whatever length you want. So you just wrapped it around yourself, and then all you had to do was just kind of zip a seam up the back, and you had an instant summer dress. So I thought that was really fun, perfect for kind of beginner sewists. So here's the pattern section of Joann's. As you can see, it's quite empty. I don't know if that's an indication of their current financial situation, but whilst it was empty here, the fabrics were absolutely fully stocked. So hopefully this remains a resource for people that rely on Joann's for their fabric purchases going forward. Had to stop by the pattern books. I love looking through pattern books. I used to do this as a kid, as a teenager. My mum would go shopping at the store and drop me off at the fabric store, and I would look through these and give her a big list of things I wanted her to make. Happy vibes, happy memories looking through these. Despite being overwhelmed by the selection there, I did find some stuff, so let's see what I got. My first one I've got to show is the Animal Crossing quilting fabric, which I got. This is a really fun design. I haven't seen this anywhere in the UK, and my daughter and I are big Animal Crossing fans because we played a lot of it during lockdown and still play quite a bit together. So this brings a lot of fun memories, and this is a yard here, which I should be able to get a pair of pajama shorts out for her, and also a bucket hat. And probably no surprises in this household that we are big Bluey fans. So I got this lovely print here, which is Bluey and Bingo. Self-confession, this is actually from me because I also want a bucket hat. Fun fact, my sport of choice is actually archery. The best hat to wear when you're doing archery is a bucket hat because you can fold the brim up whilst you're shooting. It doesn't get in the way of your bowstring when you shoot your arrows. So I like having a bit of fun when I'm at my archery club. So I'm going Bluey style this summer. So the next three fabrics are all lovely, soft, 100% cotton flannelette. Their range of flannelette was mind-blowing, and bigger bonus was it was all on sale for $3.99 per yard. It took me ages to figure out which ones I wanted to bring home. This is what I ended up landing on. So the first one is this lovely, gorgeous gnome pattern. Look at those happy chaps with their wheelbarrows and beautiful flowers. I could just see myself sitting in the kitchen with a cup of coffee, pondering over the garden whilst it's freezing cold outside, and being very happy in that. So I got 2.5 yards of that one. Everyone loves magic in this household, so I got this lovely one here, which again 2.5 yards, and just beautiful, colourful, magical creatures. The next one is actually for my daughter. She loves purple and all things magical and mystical, so I found this lovely magical moth one with all the constellations and purple flowers. This fabric is so super soft, and she actually wanted these to be made up straight away, and I had to hesitate and say, no, it's about to get really hot. Well, it's about to get warm, I won't say really hot. So this one here will be ready for her. I'll make some lovely long leg pajamas when the weather starts to turn again. So very excited to have these in my stash. I just think they're really, really pretty, and I think they'll turn up into wonderful pajamas. Now the next lot of jerseys are actually from me, and normally I would not go all that way and bring back a plain black fabric, but this one I had to have an exception. This is a double brushed polyester jersey. This is so incredibly soft. I just had to bring it back. I've never felt a jersey like this before, and whilst I prefer not to have polyester jersey, this one is so soft, and I think it's going to last a long time, and I'm going to probably make some really nice bodysuits out of this. I bought 2 yards of it, and because it was the end of the bolts and they still have another half a yard, I took that as well, because like, you'll always find a use for black jersey. So I do recommend, if you do come across this, give it a shot. I'm looking forward to seeing how this makes up, how long it lasts, and so on. But yeah, this is the double brush poly, which I also got in a print, which is this one here. Now again, really hard to find grown-up adult prints in a jersey, so I found this one and I said, yep, you're coming home with me. This is this lovely floral jersey in the blues with the lovely white flowers. Same again, this double brushed poly, and I got 2.5 yards of this one as well. So looking forward to making up something in this. Again, not decided, but I will definitely find a use for this one. So my last bit of fabric is something I actually purposely went into Joann's for, knowing that I wanted to bring back, and that was some polar fleece to make another pogo knit top by Friday Pattern Company. Now I've made one previously for the pogo knit party out of a lovely colourful baby cord and some chambray gingham, and this time I wanted to make one a bit more cozy in a polar fleece. So I was in there searching for polar fleece, and I was not disappointed, but again, overwhelmed by choice. Let me show you what I ended up getting. This one. So this is frogs in cowboy hats sitting amongst a whole bunch of cactus on a pink background. How fun is this? I picked this because there is absolutely no way I'm going to find this anywhere else in the UK. And this fleece, it's an anti-polar fleece. It's so lovely, soft and snuggly. And you know what? I think I'll get my pogo knit top out of this, and I'll probably get a Jarrah sweater for my daughter as well. So we'll be matchy-matchy, but in different tops. Look at those happy little frogs sitting amongst the cactus. I can't wait to make this up. Yeah, I might have to make this up sooner rather than later, because I just cannot go past those frogs. I mean, like, am I crazy? I could have gone for a plain, more subtle one. Actually, you know what? There was some fabric which was avocado cats. That was my backup choice, but I thought maybe that the size of the print was more if you were going to make an oodie or something, like a wearable blanket. But this one I thought would definitely go for a pogo knit. I do like a bit of a strange, unusual top. So this is my new favourite fabric in my stash at the moment, because it's just so cute. Look at those frogs, so cute. So that was Joann's. Yeah. I was meant to go shopping to a totally different location after that, and I stopped. I had to go back to the hotel and take a moment. Now I think I've left the best to last, as my final fabric destination is Stitches, which can be found just up the road from the fancy Starbucks in Capitol Hill. Now this store is a delight to visit, has something for everyone, whether you're into fabric, yarn, or embroidery. Or if you're looking for a gift for someone who is into all that stuff, then you can't go wrong here. They have a great range of premium quilting cottons from Moda and Ruby Star Society, along with some divine Japanese cottons from Koka and other brands. They had a varied range of knits as well as some really lovely occasion wear fabrics. I really love this unusual bark textured material, and I'm sure it would look absolutely stunning in the right pattern. Now, coming down here, I finally found some Visco Chalet at last. So not a huge amount, but a really quality selection, and I ended up getting some whilst I was there. They also had a lovely range of linens, linen mixes, double gauze, and some interesting canvases as well. So just the right amount of fabric in all, so it wasn't too overwhelming. As much as shopping in a big box store has its benefits, you really can't go past an independent retailer, and Stitches is a great find. The staff here were really, really friendly, and everything was reasonably priced, and actually even less than I was expecting, which was a bonus. If you were to visit just one fabric store whilst here in Seattle, then this would be the one. Now, whilst I didn't buy any quilting cotton by the yard there, I did pick up this lovely fat quarter pack, which I believe is a Ruby Star Society pattern pack. And it's one of their more recent collections. So there's 5 patterns in here which are absolutely delightful, kind of really fun summery fabrics. And I plan on making another pillowcase to kind of follow on from that one I made for Valentine's Day, which was a free art gallery fabric pattern. The pillow is actually like a king size pillowcase, and it's just a really simple square patchwork design on it. So the first lot of patchwork I've actually done, I really enjoyed it. It was quite fast to make. So I think this will be a summer version to complement the nice Valentine's Day one. I do have a mission that over the next few years to make kind of a new cushion cover for each month of the year to kind of correlate with the season or the special holiday occasion or whatever. So this is going to be my summer one, and it'll be a nice memory of Seattle going forward. Now, my first fabric by the yard was this lovely kind of really heavy cotton weight, which has got this sashiko effect. It's got the indigo base there with this lighter blue cross effect in there. It's all been embroidered on, so you can see on the reverse side all the lovely kind of crosses embroidered there. It's like such an interesting contrast specifically. Again, I don't have a specific pattern in mind, but because of the weight of the cotton, I think it needs to be more of a structured top. So I'll do a little bit of investigating to see what might suit this one. Ooh, and finally I found some rayon viscose fabric at last. Stitches had a lovely selection there, and I was not disappointed. I brought 2 home with me, and the first one is this beauty here, which again is a tealy green base, really lovely soft as viscose rayon tends to be, but has this more pastely kind of floral, a retro floral pattern to it, which I think is just divine. There are 3 yards here, so this will definitely be a dress going forward. Which dress, who knows? I'm sure I'll be inspired by something, but just knowing that I have this in my stack makes me very happy and excited to make something beautiful out of it. So that's the first one. And then the second lot is 2 yards, and this is a lovely Ruby Star Society print. Again, divine feel to this fabric here, and it's these beautiful tealy green leaves. There's actually a light pink vein running through those leaves, so just a really nice colorway choice on this pattern here. So this was the last on the bolt. I was lucky to get the 2 yards that I wanted out of it. So this being 2 yards will most likely be a top. Don't know which one. It'll be a fun adventure to figure out which one it will be. So the fact that I've got these in my stash, very excited. Either I'll be inspired by someone else making something and I go, ooh, I'll make that with this, or maybe I'll find a pattern and go, oh, I know exactly what fabric to make with that. So there we go. That is all my fabric from Seattle. Today I'm wearing the lovely Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweater, which I made up in a size 14 out of this ivory cable sweater knit from Higgs and Higgs. I've used view D for the funnel neck and the split cuff, but also leaned into view B, which is the lovely scooped hem, which is longer at the back than the front. Overall, a fantastic make, and if you haven't made it yet, definitely jump into it. I'll be making lots of these in future. Now, this is the first time I have used a double needle to finish off all the hems on this knit. Absolutely sold. I love the effect that it gives. So if you've not given twin needles a try, I highly recommend. It's a lot easier than you think it is if I'm anything to go by. Just jump on, find a few YouTube tutorials, get some scrap fabric out and give it a go. You'll get the hang hang of it really, really easy, and it just elevates your makes so much. And yeah, so I'll be using this going forward. Now, I love this make, and after I finished it, my daughter straight away said that she wanted to have one as well. Megan Nielsen does make this in kids sizes, so I think when the colder weather starts up again here in the UK, I'll definitely be making matchy ones for me and my daughter. So watch this space, it'll probably be a video, I'm sure. So yep, Megan Nielsen sweater, do recommend. So I think Barbara is a little bit more optimistic about the British weather than I am, because she is hanging out here in a lovely Rhea dress from Tammy Handmade, just waiting for that sunshine. Now, I made this up just before Christmas. It's a size 12 and it's made out of a crinkle viscose from Rainbow Fabrics. This fabric is really pretty, but a little bit awkward to sew with. Similar to double gauze, it does have a tendency to grow when you work with it. Because of this, the seam under the bust line here was probably a little bit wonky as I tried to adjust for that. So it's not 100% perfect, but it is the first time I've made it. It was a learning lesson for using this fabric. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that kind of issue. Completely still wearable though. So I wore this to Australia for my holiday, chucked it over my swimwear for going to the beach and to the pool. Equally looks great with a denim jacket and some sandals. So yeah, completely wearable, and I will be chucking this on when the weather gets warmer. So I hope you enjoyed my fabric haul from Seattle. It will be my last haul video like this for a long time, because to be honest, I have no more room for fabric, and I do have to implement a complete and total fabric ban for a little bit. But that's great, because my focus will be on making stuff over the next few months as we roll through spring and right into summer. So I've got plenty of summer makes ready and waiting to go. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving me the thumbs up. If you liked some of the fabrics, or you can give me any recommendations on what to make, then leave a comment in below. I've been really enjoying reading them and having a chat with everybody who have done so far. And of course, please do click on that subscribe button, and that way you can continue to watch my sewing adventures as they unfold. So with that, I wish you a very happy week of sewing, and I'll see you in the next video.